Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. When they came chanting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, after he has beheaded the head of a Christian, he licked the blood.
Is there Christian genocide in Nigeria? Is there Muslim genocide in Nigeria? This has been the question on the lips of a lot of people. There are some who said, no, do not let us pin it to a particular religion. Let us say there is genocide in Nigeria. Well, at this point, everyone has to carry his or her own cross. And in this case, Christians are carrying their cross. You're about to watch a video, and it happened in Eruku. Eruku is a town between Kogi State and Kwara State. What happened will shock you. You're about to see a church. It's a Christ Apostolic Church where bandits, terrorists, we don't know where they are from. They stormed the church same way they did in Ondo State, the southwest of Nigeria. This is coming at the moment the United States of America asked the president of Nigeria to do the needful, or else hell will break loose. Let us watch this video and we'll talk more.
Allah Akbar.
Oh, no. Oh,
Allahu Akbar. Up.
Dan miƙe, dan miƙe, dan ƙara miƙewa, dan ƙara miƙewa, dan ƙara miƙewa. Da alamun tsayin ka bai kai ba da saura. Ɗuyi. Talakawan Najeriya da ɓarayin Najeriya da sojojin Najeriya.
Duk muna buƙatar kuɗaɗe a taimaka mana in ba haka za mu ƙara ta'addanci.
Faɗin wannan kun dai san sulhu ake yi. PNDP DSS. To ka cire hannun mana, ka ci a salma. Kun ga shugaban ƙasa Bola Ahmed Tinubu namu mai ba mu shawara a yi sata. A ci gaba da cin kayan mutane. Gwamnatin tarayya Abuja su tell local government ɗin su Tinubu. Mun gaishe.
Zaune suna ne.
There's genocide against the poor in this country. There's genocide against Muslims in this country. There's genocide against Christians in this country. There's genocide against children in this country. To now separate it and say maybe it's one religion or the other. Interestingly, Nigeria doesn't count or do DNA of people who are killed to determine whether they are carrying a Bible or a Quran. So, the number of people that were abducted on our road yesterday, did anybody find out whether they are Christians or Muslims? Whereas the U.S. can nitpick symbolically to say, because they have policies, definitely. They say, oh, you know, there are genocides against Christians in Nigeria. Why is the U.S. not taking the same position in Gaza? That there's genocide against Muslims by Israel. So there's international hypocrisy about that. In a country where they are killing 6,000 people a day, you did not designate the killer as a genocidal government. But you are here. Please, let's be careful. I am not in any way defending what is happening in Nigeria. But I'm just saying that the problem with Nigeria has nothing to do with religion. It's complete irresponsible leadership and insecurity that kills everybody.
Yes.
What about when the terrorists go and kill people in the mosque? When you talk about insecurity in this country today, it happens more in the north, in the Muslim part of the north.
Welcome back. Now, the debate about Christian genocide, Muslim genocide, or general insecurity in Nigeria. Well, it is so sad, so terrible. It is unfortunate that the likes of Sheikh Gumi and some other Islamic cleric will be allowed to walk free on the surface of the earth. We've seen countless times their stance, their defense. Majority of them will say an attack on bandit terrorists is an attack on Islam and is an attack on themselves as persons. It shows that we are not serious yet. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is only interested in safeguarding his next election. He doesn't want to deal with the menace in the northern part of Nigeria as it should be dealt with. He doesn't want to be decisive about it. He does not want to change service chiefs and eradicate and remove certain persons and be very stiff. Why? For two reasons. He doesn't want to be too high-handed. He knows that the military can unseat him. And he would not want to seek for foreign help or assistance to keep him there. Two, dealing with the menace in the north, showing his face and hands and legs as president he believes it will disturb his 2027 re-election. He wants to kind of pat them on the head. Now, a lot of people are wondering, and they seem not to understand how terrorists operate. They operate in a very complex and brazen manner. One, they use what they call human shield. You will never know. And intelligence report can be devastating. I will break it down. What I mean is that you might get an intelligence report hoping. Do not forget that we are dealing with wild and terrible people. And that intelligence report, to you, this report is genuine and it's from someone who had given such report previously. And you go, you engage. At the end of the day, it ends up to be an ambush. That intelligence report was actually a sellout. That's how terrible it is. You need to be on ground to understand how these goons work. It's not only the Nigerian army or military, even the terrorists themselves are encubed. So getting them out of the way can only be done by technology. Apart from the one-on-one intelligence gathering, technology is needed. And this cannot be spread. And that's where the problem lies again. Sending army generals or certain individuals are interested in gathering information to sell to keep this terrorism alive. Because without this terrorism, there is no funding per se for the military. There is no war for them to go to. So this continuous unaliving of people in churches, it gives the military something to do. That is why majority of them would not allow this to end. And I will tell you the truth. There are certain Muslims in this same military. Some of them are the so-called repentant terrorists. Some of them are in the rank and file of the army. They see this as jihad. To them, yes, we are part of the army, but to an extent, we are in support of certain activities of these terrorists. Unaliving Christians is a complex. Now, this is where the president needs to stand tall, firm. This is where the president needs to do the needful. You call these bandits uneducated and all of that, but there's one thing you need to know, that this wicked act of theirs have enriched them. They are well connected. They are sophisticated criminals with network all over the world. We've seen cases where people were abducted and through your phone number, they're able to get details about you. They just make phone calls and they have people who go into your records and say, this person has so bank account. We've heard cases that shows that these guys, they know what they are doing. They are getting better every day in their wicked acts. It is not news that most of these people are Fulanese extraction. Let me put it that way. Aliens. And they have decentralized themselves with tens of thousands of them scattered all over Nigeria. They are heavily harmed, seriously rich, and crazily ideologically driven. They are not just another rag criminals that some people think. No, they have the capacity to take on the Nigerian security architecture, infiltrate, and they have demonstrated this several times. Cases of them storming a military barrack. Some will be like, oh, the military barrack they stormed is a weaker word. Why is it weak? Oh, we cannot put certain ammunition in certain parts because this ammunition can even be sold by the army, or maybe once they get access to it, that's that. The question that begs for an answer is this: what is the Air Force doing? Oh, they do not have the required helicopter, fighter jet, because the US is not willing to sell certain instruments to certain nations. Oh, the bandits and terrorists have access to certain combat weapon that could bring down an helicopter. Yes, to an extent they do, because they source for weapons too. Many of these bandit militias make up to 1 billion naira in a month. It shows you that they have a huge financial war chest. Their bag is full. They need money to pay fighters, to fund themselves. Sophisticated arms, ammunition. How do they make this? First, let us look at it. They are in charge of the gold mines in states like Zamfara, Kaduna. And they make millions a day from their respective gold mines. They secure it, they terrorize. They just do not just control the gold mines, they also enslave the inhabitants. That's why you hear, oh, bandits went to a particular village and the other life people, and those people are bush slaves. You need to understand that they are gain driven, greed driven, bloodthirsty. They want cheap labor and they have unlimited resources, manpower. They make millions a day. Bandits have access to arms, the arms market from Algeria, Sudan, and other places. They need this state-of-the-art, up-to-date weapons to take on the Nigerian army, and they do it successfully. We've seen so many. Recently, a general was ambushed, and the talk is that certain persons must have given information about his location. You know, many of these bandits have the ability to send their goons to Dubai to sell this gold directly. They go to the United Arab Emirates without any middleman. This is how they maximize profit. They also collect taxes, levy that runs into hundreds of millions. They are in charge. Go to the northwest, north central. They control land, territories. They also tax and own cattle. That's how they operate. For example, let us look at Mali. They have the JNI Al-Qaeda. They make nearly $1 billion a month, taxing cattle alone. That is the reason why you see cattle all over Nigeria, even at the Federal Capital Territory. So these bandits or terrorists, like their counterparts, ISIS, JNIM, Masina Liberation, Al-Qaeda, and the rest of them, at least their representatives in Africa, majority, 90% are Fulanis. They use kidnapping for ransom, kidnapping for body part sale as means of fundraising for their operations. That's how they operate. So, that is why kidnapping for ransom by bandits of Fulani extraction and some other extraction across Nigeria, especially the southern and middle belt, let's say states of Kwara, Kogi. Every ransom paid is a tool, is a weapon for the eventual destruction of Nigeria. So for those who say, or who are saying, oh, let us not bring or accept Donald Trump, I do understand your thoughts, partner. I do understand that there are certain countries that the United States of America visited and it ended up in total disarray. That is the truth. This is more like the devil and the deep blue sea. The sea, you will not survive the waves. The devil, ready to steal, to kill, and to destroy. The question is this: which of it do you want to embrace? It's time for the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to do the needful. It's time for him to do the needful. If he's only concerned about 2027 election, maybe when he gets in there, he now does not need any re-election anymore. And then he will curb these excesses, this terrorism. Look at what happened in Kwara State. It will not stop. It will continue all through this Ember month. It will continue.